morning before we start playing today. It's truly a blessing to be back. I missed the past 2 years, and Christine was going to kill me if I wasn't going to be here this year. But I try not to miss this ever. But I was gone on tour, and I try not to miss this moment. This tournament right here pushes me through the rest of the year because it's near and dear to my heart. So without further ado, I want to bring up the assistant, one of Jack's right-hand men, Mr. Mike Horton. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, morning, everybody. Jack couldn't be here this morning. He had a prior engagement, but he had a message he wanted me to read for you guys. But first off, I want to apologize for not being able to say this in person, not being here with you right now. But anyone who knows me knows that to be something very special for me to miss this. Today I get to coach my heart warrior, Kaiden, in this football game. This is something that 8 years ago I never thought would be possible. I thank you all for understanding. I want to thank all of our sponsors, our volunteers, our families that came to speak, all of these captains standing behind me, and all of you players who signed up and play every year. Next, Nate McMillan of Nathan's Patio. He's unbelievable to this. He's every year, no matter what, he's there for us. We cannot say enough about what he does. Canton Parks, Don Patterson, and Aaron Thompson, thank you for continued partnership. Matt House and his field crew, thank you for all you do for us to make this weekend wonderful. Just look how good these field looks, and you'll know if you've never played on them how good they are. I'm asking each one of you today to look at these banners around the park. The sponsors are key to this event. I don't have time to list them all right now. You can see how many they are. It blows my mind what we do. Sponsors are key to our event, and I just want to take a few minutes to mention, due to the continued support of Nate McMillan, Lee Miller of Berlin Pets, Chris Husted, and his continuous contributions through Dominion Energy, among others, Joe Hardman and his daughter Addison. These 4 sponsors have donated over $1,500 each, and today have fields named after them. Mike Sorrell donated $1,000 and was used to refurbish our trailer. You see here that we have all of our merchandise in now. Laura Schlick, Brittany McFarland, and Beth Moore, ladies at the front gate, they have been with us since the beginning, and we couldn't do any of this registering with you guys without those ladies up there. And they're always up there, and they never are out here to get the recognition. So if you could say thank you to them for all of us. As all of you know, this is our 10th annual Kaiden Kare Super Draft. When we started this event, we never envisioned it would turn into this. Over the years, we went from a small softball tournament to promote softball in Stark County to an event that is directed to raise funds for children born with congenital heart disease. Softball has always been a huge part of my life, and I was able to team up with the following people: myself, my wife, Katie Horton, Justin Mingus, Ashley Finger, who's not here right now, Lori Gardner, and everybody knows Christine Gardner, to help create what you see here today. I'd just like to give a round of applause and show your appreciation to all of our efforts. This event is only one day for most of you, but us on the board work all year round to try to make this event the best event you guys can play in. We spend numerous hours away from our families, sacrifice time just to make this happen. Without them, none of this would be possible, and I thank each of you guys from the bottom of my heart for all you've done throughout the years to grow this event. Some of the biggest things, these captains behind us, I want to say thank you. You guys make this the best event around. Beyond board members, these captains themselves take hours out of their time getting their teams together, and they do a lot of the game time work that we could never get done. If it wasn't for these guys, this thing would not run the way it does right now. So I'd like to recognize the captains. If I do, just step forward and wave. Aaron Eisenhart, Tracy Evans, Mo Olson, Curtis Yoder, Todd Blackman, Nick Rohr, Dave Rice, Sean Wright, Mark Common, Will Brown, Mike Monroe, Tom Covey, Marvin Nisley, Joe Moore, Marcus Morgan, Ray Herford, Johnny Andrews, Johnny Ulrich, Randy Barnett, and the returning champions, Jack Markhofer. I think he cheated last year. This year, Tom Covey will be playing in memory of Ledger Lane Wilhelm, and Joe Moore's team will be playing in memory of Jack McCarthy. As most of you know, Bill Wilhelm and Tom McCarthy have been a huge part of the local softball family throughout the years, and this event will be dedicated to the loss of their sons. We love you guys, and we're glad to do this. I can't say enough about what you guys have done to us to make this grow. It's like, thank you. Forever, your sons will be remembered on this day. This will always be on the backs of our shirts. Ledger's Walkway will always showcase the Heart Warriors and the Heart Angels as you walk in. Please, if you get a chance, read on every one of these families and the Warriors on all the fields. All these captains raised at least $200 from different sponsors. Sean Wright and Chris Houston raised $3,800 this year. Please give them all a huge round of applause. Many of you captains and personal friends of mine have been with me and my family and your continued support each and every year. To all captains, thank you. Today, your teams will be playing with the purpose to raise money for Kaiden Cares. Today, your teams will be playing for a chance to hold the belt. Get the championship name on the trophy, get hoodies and other prizes. Top two captains will receive a full cool of special beverages as well. But more importantly, today is not to be judged by wins and losses. Who hits the ball the hardest, who's the fastest. I want all of you to know to look at the families that are coming out here to speak. I want you all to put yourself in their shoes one day and play for the cause to help raise awareness for the dead. No. Help raise awareness for this deadly disease that affects so many. Play ball today, play hard, have fun, and thank God for putting you in position today to be able to play to help these families. To these kids on these banners going around the park, please take a few minutes, read our banners, understand that there are not many organizations that focus directly on congenital heart disease. Understand there is a need for our group in this area to make a difference. Some of us play softball 7 nights a week in leagues. Some of us travel the United States playing softball. Some of us love this game as much as anything else. softball community has been great to me for over 20 years. Plus, this Jack's wife, Chrissy, will tell you, even a little later as we go on. Jack knew he wanted to give back. Softball guys often get a bad reputation for being arrogant or just whatnot. No. But to me, there's not a better group of guys out here than all you guys who come out to support this, and especially these ones standing behind me. Today, you guys come together for these children. So again, from the bottom of all of the board's heart, thank you very much, and we love all you guys.
Mike does a lot of work. Thank you, Mike. Before I start doing the families, I do want to take a moment of silence for baby Emery, Jack McCarthy, Ledger, and baby Jackson, all of our angels. If we could take a quick moment of silence for that, please. Thank you. Now for field 3. Our baby on field 3. I would like to introduce to you Wendy Wilson and her daughter, Ella, who are here representing their entire family of 6, including their heart warrior, Mia, who couldn't be here today in person due to her immune system. She's not feeling well, so due to her immune system. So I want to welcome Wendy Wilson and her daughter, Ella. Let's give a round of applause, please.
Really loud? Okay. Good morning. My name's Wendy. My husband, Bobby, and I have 4 daughters. And I have our 3rd daughter here with us today, Ella. Her younger sister, Mia, was born on February 19th, 2011. Doing something wrong? There you go. Okay. 2011, just 5 weeks before her due date. Her heart was double the space that it should have been in her chest cavity. Our doctor told us the prognosis was poor. We were given a 90% chance that she would die shortly after birth. We were planning for a funeral, but hoping for a miracle. Palliative care was involved from the very beginning, and they were making feet castings and hand printings and doing all the things to help make memories when there might be very little time. Okay. Mia has a rare congenital heart defect called Epstein's anomaly. She was only the 2nd case in 10 years that they had seen in the Akron area. And so moving her was her best chance of survival. And so at 7 days old, she was life-flighted to Mott Hospital in Michigan with the thought that she might not survive the flight. I'm stunned when I think back to that cold night when we traveled out of state with 3 days of clothes, never realizing that our family would be living in the Ronald McDonald House for 4 seasons. We spent Mia's first 11 and a half months in the hospital and many more since her first discharge. Parents will do just about anything for their children, but without events like this to raise awareness and funds, there is no hope for their sick child. We had hope because of physicians, researchers, and parents who went before us to pave the way for medical advancements, trials, medications, and so much more. There's so many times in Mia's life that she was saved. One of the times she arrested was on a Friday morning, and as everyone was working on Mia with a controlled concern clearly in the air, I was standing just outside the room watching every move through the glass doors and praying for the 2 doctors trying to get more stable access, for the nurse running to get supplies, for the nurse who got a temporary IV, the nurse that was pushing meds into that beautiful IV, for the pharmacy tech running stat meds to the room, for the respiratory therapist setting up the ventilator and getting her intubated, and for the nurse who offered to chart while all this craziness was going on. Amazing people are used in our hospitals. During rounds that following week, when Mia was stable enough to once again get moved back to moderate care, I said, "Thank you again for getting us over another hump." The doctor who was on service that week said, "It was our pleasure." These things do not happen without funding. You're going to see and hear a lot of statistics today, like 1 out of every 125 babies are born with a congenital heart defect. It is the leading cause of infant deaths in the U.S. Congenital heart defects affect nearly twice as many children as all other childhood cancers combined. However, there's 5 times the amount of funding for childhood cancers. Please don't misunderstand me. I'm not mad at funding for cancer, but it does mean that we need to do a better job at raising awareness for the #1 birth defect in the world. What you will not see in the statistics are the hugs and giggles, birthday candles being blown out, graduations, marriages, and congenital heart defect adults thriving. If 1 out of every 125 babies born with a heart defect, that means that if you know 250 people, and judging by Facebook, it's way more than that, then that means you know at least 2 people with a congenital heart defect. Some are as common as a hole in the heart that will close on its own with no surgery, and some are as complex as Mia. We do this today because 10 years ago, a different set of parents fought for research. So what does life look like for Mia today? She gets about 40 doses of medication each day, multiple breathing treatments, vest therapy, 24-hour G-tube, oxygen, and has many doctors. We don't have a prognosis for Mia, but we can say that today she is happy, and that's all we can hope for. The Lord has laid on our heart a passion for raising awareness about congenital heart defects so that children 10 years from now will live better and healthier lives than Mia. We don't know if Mia has 10 more months or 10 more years, but despite all the odds, we made it all this way. We do have a 10th birthday in sight for this coming February. Thank you all for raising funds and awareness so that more babies can live to double digits.
Thank you, Wendy. And I know you guys, people get anxious, and I know you're listening to these stories. But if you have children yourself, put yourself in their shoes. It'll make you really think. It'll make you go hug your kids. You know what I'm saying? Just put yourself in all these families' shoes and understand what they're going through, because the real warriors, the real tough ones out here are them. Always understand that. One more time, Miss Wendy, clap for her, y'all. Thank you, Wendy. We love you. Field 4. I want to bring up, is it Janine? Yes. Janine and Thomas Jones with their daughter Jillian. Heart warrior Zoe could not be with us today because she is currently awaiting a new heart at the Cleveland Clinic. Man, oh man, please give them a round of applause, please.
Good morning. I'm not sure how to follow Wendy. Okay. Our daughter Zoe was born in February of 2019. She was our second daughter and a little sister to Jillian. We had no reason to believe she wasn't healthy. Instead, she was born with an undiagnosed heart condition called Schoen's complex and spent the first 3 weeks of her life at Akron Children's. She had her first open heart surgery at 11 days old. There we were, staring at our tiny 6-pound, 7-ounce baby, attached to more lines and drains than we could have ever imagined. Zoe fought through it all. Another surgery at 6 months was without complications, and Zoe really thrived. I highly underestimated the hold CHD had over our daughter until late February of this year. Zoe went into heart failure and we traveled to Cleveland for her surgery on March 24th. Nothing could prepare us for surgery with complications. Here was our strong girl hooked to an ECMO machine. Our 13-month-old was on life support. I reached out to the CHD community more than I ever had before. Zoe fought again and was able to come off ECMO after 72 hours. The damage was done though, and even all the fight she had in her wasn't enough to help her heart recover. On May 4th, the team met with us in a conference room and explained that Zoe needed a heart transplant. Zoe had a Berlin heart placed to bridge her to transplant. Tubes connected to a pump hang outside of my daughter's body that are connected to a machine that keeps her alive. As I read this, Zoe has been waiting 130 days for a new heart. This journey has taught us so much about the endless steps parents will go to fight for their child and how much fight our girl has inside of us. Thank you for allowing us to take part in this special event. We are grateful for the opportunity to share Zoe's story in hopes of inspiring others to talk to their loved ones about organ donation. Thank you.
Thank you, Janine Thomas. Two more. We have field one. I would like to bring up Jessica and Bobby, along with his grandmother and 7 siblings. Superhero Jackson is here in spirit with us. He lost his battle against CHD on 12/31/19. Jackson, we love you. And I know you're going to be watching us today, but we're doing this for you. So without further ado, Jessica and Bobby, come on up, please. Thank you.
Hi, so I'm Jackson's mom, and you guys did a moment of silence for baby Anne-Marie, and this is her mom, Amy. She was there for Jackson through all of it as well, and her daughter was in the hospital, and she lost her too. Jackson was born with a rare form of CHD called Al Kappa. We didn't know that he had it. He seemed like he was perfectly healthy until he was 8 months old. He was just really small. They just contributed it to he had issues with formula. They switched it numerous times and he just didn't gain any weight. So after a doctor's appointment, the nurse took her concern to the doctor and they decided to admit him into Cleveland just for some labs and testing for a few days. 3 days into his hospital stay, they decided to do an echo just by chance and realized that his heart was almost no longer functioning at that point. He had a CHD called Al Kappa. His arteries didn't form properly where they were supposed to, so he didn't get the oxygen in his heart he needed. Therefore, one side of his heart was normal size, the other side of his heart was almost as big as my fist, which is fairly big seeing as how he was only 11 pounds. He had emergency surgery 4 days after they found out that he had a heart problem, and he did very well through it. They were really optimistic that within a couple weeks we were going home. 3 days after his initial surgery, Jackson had a pretty severe stroke. He had another blood clot in his brain that they had to watch as well. His stroke left him not able to use the right side of his body for a fairly long time. They decided to keep him in there while he was healing and for physical therapy on his stroke, just to kind of monitor his heart at the same time. After about a month and a half, they realized his heart wasn't getting any better. It wasn't healing like they had expected it to done, and his function hadn't gone up entirely at all. So they decided to list him as 1A for a heart transplant. We waited in the hospital for the transplant the entire time. We were there from December to he got his transplant August 16th. He did really well. He came through it a lot better than they ever expected him to. They said when they put the new heart in, it immediately started beating with no ECMO needed at all. It was about 2.5 weeks after he got his transplant, he started to get really sick again. They thought maybe medications, maybe there was something else going on. He started to go into heart failure again, and they said that his antibodies had skyrocketed and he was going into antibody rejection. So we went through treatment after treatment for it, and it was really difficult for him. He coded and had to have CPR due to the treatments. The rest of his body just took a real beating because of it. In December, after 4 bouts of him going into rejection, he seemed like he was doing great. They said that he was good enough to leave, and they sent him to the rehab facility up the road from the hospital. On New Year's Eve, he had a routine echo scheduled. We were getting ready to leave and it was snowing out, so I thought we'll just wait a little bit and see what the weather's gonna do. We live in Worcester, he was in Cleveland. We didn't want to get stuck on the side of the road due to the storm. Got a call, I don't know, maybe a half hour after I decided to wait, that we need to come up immediately, that Jackson was sitting up playing with his nurse, getting ready for his appointment, and he had gone into cardiac arrest. They had gotten him stable enough to transport him back to the hospital, but they didn't know what was going on. We left immediately and went to go up there and got another phone call wanting to know if we wanted to put our son on life support, that they were running out of options pretty quick. We got up there and they hadn't told us that he passed away, but we went in and he was gone. And they said that he had developed sudden cardiac coronary artery disease due to the treatments that he needed to fight the antibody rejection. And they just never thought about that being a possibility. It's not something that usually happens. And so we lost our boy on New Year's Eve 2019 due to CHD. So we want to thank you guys for coming out here and doing this for us as well. That means a lot to us, and we really appreciate it.
Listening to these stories, you know, we have to be thankful. I mean, I'm sorry, y'all, we have to be. Every day I know we're here to play ball, and we get up every day and have fun with our friends and family, but then you listen to some of these stories, it makes you, that's why I love this. That's why I'm bummed sometimes when I can't make it. That's why I love this, because it keeps you humble and it keeps you thankful for the small things. You understand what I'm saying? So just one more time, one more round of applause, please, y'all. All right, last one, last but not least, Phil 2. One of my favorite humans in the world, Miss Christine Gardner, Carly, and Kendall Gardner. They will be sharing their Heart Warrior Kaiden story. As we said, Jack is not here. Her husband Jack's not here. He will be back shortly after the game. But I love these two with all my heart and soul. They are family to me, and I can say stuff on and on. But without further ado, Christine Gardner, y'all.
Hi. Thank you all for coming out. I have Kaiden's army behind me. A lot of you guys have heard Kaiden's story throughout the years. There's always different parts that I struggle with sharing with people because it's just hard. And the reason why we do this is what drives us to do it for everybody here that helps us. The day after Kaiden was born, we were told he has congenital heart disease. Jack and I had no idea what that meant. We were shocked. Then we soon learned that he needed to have open heart surgery to survive. We're going to fast forward 3 months. That's when his cardiologist said it's time for him to go into surgery. The car ride up to Cleveland Clinic was silent. I just remember Jack driving, and I was in the back with Kaiden, just saying as many prayers as I could that when this was all through, everything was just going to be okay. I just remember Jack pulling up to the doors, and I held Kaiden in my arms, carrying him for what I prayed wasn't the last time. I just remember the tears wouldn't stop falling out of my eyes as I walked into that hospital. I remember a man standing there, and he was looking at me, and he knew I was struggling even to walk into there to find out where I was supposed to go with Kaiden. I just remember getting on the elevator and that door shutting, and I pleaded with God that to make sure that we were making the right decision, that this would be the last time I would see Kaiden. And it happened. They took Kaiden away from Jack and I. And I never went, and I went to a place that I never knew existed. And my other heart moms know that that place is a dark place. It's a place you cannot describe unless you're in our shoes. It's a place you don't want to be, and I'll never forget it. The phone call. They said he made it through and he was doing well. That feeling was the best feeling we had since the day we found out that he had congenital heart disease. He did have 2 setbacks during his stay, that they had to open his chest back up, but he did do good. It did delay his stay there at Cleveland Clinic, but it was okay. I don't think any of you have any idea what it means for you to be standing here today. To Jack and I, we know how hard everyone works to raise money, and for us to be able to share that with some of these families and give back to the Ronald McDonald House in Cleveland, and to do meals and to do bags for families throughout the community is huge to us. And we appreciate every one of you every single day of the year, 365 days. Not just this one day, every day. I just want to let you guys know that we love each and every one of you. Every person that walks through that gate today, we love you. I just want to thank you, and I just want to explain the field situations for everybody. Each child is assigned a field, and you'll see the banners and what teams are playing for that child. For instance, this is Jackson's field. If one of Jackson's teams that are assigned to him wins today, Jackson's family will get $1,800 to use towards whatever they need. Expenses, a trip somewhere just to get away, something to honor him, anything. It's their choice. The other 2 teams, for Zoe, Mia, they'll receive $600. If Kaiden's field teams win, each family then would receive $1,000. So these families are walking away with something that we can give them that they can use it for. You know, you listen to Wendy talk about Mia having 40 doses of medication. I mean, that's astronomical. It's crazy. And every little bit helps. I want to thank all of our sponsors, donors for baskets, the items, gift cards, tickets, and this is one of our biggest raffle basket years ever. I do want to give a special thanks to Bonnie DeVilla and her family for donating almost 25 complete baskets. I want to give her a round of applause. She does not realize how much that means to us. It's crazy. I want you guys to give a big round of applause to the guys behind me and the women. I can't do it without you. We can't. We can't. So thank you so much, each and every one of you guys. You guys will never know. And thank you, Alec. We love you. Okay. We're going to do, he's going to read the rules. We are going to have each family. I didn't listen to the mic rules. Each family is going to go to their assigned field, and we are going to do, no, getting excited. We're going to do the first pitch for that family. Mo Olson brought some gifts for the families as well. She's back there. Raise your hand up there, Mo. Give her a big round of applause. She brought little items for them. So we're going to give those to the kids as well. They'll do the first pitch. We will not do the high fives because of that crazy COVID. Dang it. And also sanitize. Don't touch each other. Don't kiss each other. That kind of stuff. Don't lick each other. I don't want to see none of that. Okay?
Mike gonna say, dang, Alec, I can't lick. Let's give Christine another round of applause and all the families. If you can hear my voice, everybody clap as loud as you can for all the families and all the angels down here for the Super Draft. 10 years, y'all. Let's hear it. Come on now, hey. Y'all can do better. Keep clapping. We're still here. We're here. Very powerful. Okay, if you play softball, I want y'all to walk towards the fence, because I'm not gonna say this. Before Jack left, Jack was like, Alec, you are me until I get back. So don't come bother me. Jack said that. He said, Alec, you're me until I get back. So I need everybody to come here and don't act like you don't hear it, because listen to what I'm about to tell you. I'm gonna go over a couple rules. I'm gonna go over my number one rule, because I missed 2 years. I've been doing this 8 years. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. We're grown. There's kids here. You can get mad and, and say little cuss words somewhere over there, go in the corner, but it ain't that serious. There's kids around here. There's kids around here. Just watch your mouth. That's all I ask. Please. Captains, you do have this in your folder, right? Captains have all this in their folder, all the rules, everything, so don't say, hey, we didn't know, because it is in the back of the folder. We'll go over a couple small little things. Flight games will be strict 60-minute time limit. At 60 minutes, the home team will finish the at-bat if needed. Once again, the home team will finish the at-bat if needed after 60 minutes is up. If the game is tied, we will go into sudden death, and that will be decided with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Home team gets the last at bat if needed. Single elimination tourney will start after flight games. Seeding based off records in flight. In case of the ties, flights, we will follow the following: head-to-head, run difference, run scored, coin flip. Playing rules, the captains will go over that. In-game tickets. We'll go to the last thing so we can get started. In-game tickets, Willy Wonka. The golden ticket, $65 golden ticket, includes Dinger Slinger, Base Burner, and all third inning specials. $25 Dinger Slinger ticket includes the team to designate a home run hitter. $25 base runner ticket includes the team to designate an unlimited runner. Oh, wow. Screw you tickets are $5 each. Each team can use 2 per game. These can't be used in the third inning. Screw you are only using the screw you bat provided by opposing team's manager, and other screw you available is a mulligan redo of a bat mic. Is that right? Individual third inning specials can be purchased for $5 each. Once again, individual third inning specials can be purchased for $5 each. So once again, flight games will be coin flip for home team. Chosen, we go by the higher seed. Coin flip will determine any tiebreakers on seeding. So your captain has everything in the folder. Once again, we'll watch. Don't shake hands. Don't hug people. Have fun today. Remember why we're here. And I love you all, and let's get started.